carries. The next change order 8. This is change order for generator disconnection and a receptacle in the amount of $10,122. Originally, it was planned in the designs that there would be a generator disconnect and the box would be wired to allow for a generator disconnect. At some point under the previous administration, that design was taken out of the plans. And we've elected to put it back in the plans on the basis that if we do have a power outage, we don't want to be fooling around with the rewiring of that box or that panel, and that we could bring a portable generator in and get that pump station rolling as soon as we can.
Where is this? Is this the one on, this a wellhead?
No, this is that same levee project, so this is within the pump station, the
Okay.
panel at the pump station.
All right. That seemed like a lot to put an electrical box in.
It was quoted a lot more for
Is that a lot to
or was
put
that
an
something
electrical
else?
box in?
You got a specialized item, I mean, the fittings that they gotta put on there, I mean, I'm sure those are,
Do they match up with our generators, so all we gotta do is plug and play and?
they will match up with the generator that's sitting out at well 5, the portable generator.
So it's set up for any place we need it, we just take it, plug it in, start it up, and you're in business.
The fittings will be the same, correct?
Okay, I move that we accept the upgrade disconnect for pump control panel.
We have a motion, I will second to approve change order number 8 in the amount of $10,122 for the generator disconnect and receptacle. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move next to the last change order number 9. This is for additional detour signs in the amount of $1,795.50. When NDOT first allowed the detour, it happened last year at some point because we were on a conference call. I guess we can back up a little bit. The original plans called for a jack and bore method under US 421 so that we wouldn't have to do a hard closure. After a conference call with Army Corps engineers and NDOT, Army Corps expressed that they did not like the jack and bore method and they were not going to allow or permit it. So at that point, NDOT allowed us to granted us a detour for 2 weeks, as long as it wasn't during a holiday or another busy time. So we were forced to go with the detour. At that time, they did not know, or I guess weren't thinking possibly about the detour in Brookston. So due to the detour in Brookston, we had to add more signage for our detour, which takes you down 25 to 65 to 43 to Reynolds to Monticello to, it's a long detour. It's 2 weeks. So
So we owe this to NDOT or
we owe this
NDOT's
to
contractor?
we owe this to F&K, and I believe they subbed it out to HSS or a company like HSS.
Okay.
And it's significantly lower than what initial estimates were thrown at us. Because we looked at the feasibility of running traffic down Washington Street and south the road because we were in,
They're doing it anyway.
they've been,
Not supposed to be.
they're not supposed to be running
They
truck
wanted,
traffic.
they
down.
wanted to run trucks and everything down Washington Street. All 421 traffic.
It's running down South Road right now.
Well, when they get ticketed or destroy the county's road, then that'll, if they get caught, that'll be on them.
That is
I
the
guess.
county road, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just trucks, we're not talking about cars. I move we accept this F&K change order to the revised detour for $1795.50.
All right, we have a motion. I will second to approve change order number 9 in the amount of $1,795.50 for additional detour signs. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next paperwork that you have was from, is just the agenda for our progress meeting on July 10th that explains where we are in terms of change orders on the 3rd page. So that initial change order was in the amount of negative $134,000, negative $134,716, and with the additional change orders, it puts us at, I don't know if those numbers are, they are accurate. We're still minus $93,176.15. And then you've got the engineering supplement to add on top of that. I think. Oh, it shows where we're at. So if you want to go back and look at it, and they're going to be providing that documentation to us before they provide any more change orders.
Okay.
Next item I have, it's not on the agenda, but it's a letter of resignation from board member Sam Dywert. I can provide copies. I decided his growing business is the reason to resign for the Board of Public Works and Safety. I'd like to thank Sam for the insight that he's brought to his position on the Board of Public Works and Safety. He's been a huge help with his knowledge of not only the workings of city government, but the utility plans that were accomplished when he was mayor, and his vision for the future and where we need to get to. So I can't thank Sam enough for his year and a half on the Board of Public Works and Safety. Whoever is appointed next is going to have pretty big shoes to fill.
I'll second that, because he's really knowledgeable about what has happened and what needs to happen, and brings a lot of things to Shane and I, who are pretty much newbies. I'd like to thank him for that time. He's really helped me understand a lot of things.
The next item I have,
We don't have to approve that, do we?
I don't think so.
Oh,
He's not here, and I think
That,
it's been approved.
okay.
Next item I have is a letter of resignation from Community Development Director Jake Adams, effective September 1st. He has taken a position with Work One. I'm thankful for the time he's spent here with the city of Delphi. I think maybe a little over a year. He's brought a lot of youth and marketing experience to the table. And I know he's worked hard, not only with the city, but the nonprofit organizations across the city and county to help spur economic development. So we wanted to give notice at this time. I think he starts working for them mid-August, and will continue with the city for 2 weeks after he starts working over there.
He's a guy that brought a lot of energy, and boy, if this community needs anything, we need young people with energy who are willing to get involved. And Jake was involved in a lot of things other than just the city, which I'm sure he'll continue a lot of those things in the future. I just hope we can find more, bring more people back into our community who are young and willing and able and willing to put the time in and learn the things that they need to learn about our community to make it what we want it to be.
I'll second that. That's the last item of business that I had for tonight's meeting. Mr. Bradshaw, do you have any comments or requests?
No, I really like to thank Aaron and his crew, because it's a tough thing when you have an incident like the park, and something that's as beautiful and wonderful as that park, and you go down there and it just makes you sick. I mean, just the smell makes you sick, but again, Mother Nature has got its own agenda sometimes, and we're just here to kind of stay out of the way of it sometimes, and I've been through that several times, floods in Riley Park. That's why I think we ought to, at least in the long term, figure out if there's a way we can, we'll not be able to stop it, but we can at least, like you did this time, get it pumped out quick enough that it doesn't do so much damage. Because the last time, especially in 2003, I mean, it really took out the shelter house, it ruined the whole playground area, and it was just a mess. And I think by acting the way you did and getting that thing pumped out makes a whole bunch of difference. But I think we should think about a drain pipe that we can pump and it could run you know.
And if we get flooding down on Water Street, our top priority is gonna be pumping out of that area.
Right, that's what happened in '03.
So
We
that
had
if- So if it's
Prioritize.
different, or if this flood was different and we got down on Hamilton and Cook, our pumps would have been down there and Riley Park would have been inundated for a lot longer than what it was this time, so maybe a gravity fed.
You think about
drain
this,
pipe isn't-
Ricky Atchison's house, it was up to the eave troughs on his house. How deep it was down. So, and if we can, you're just kind of shooting blind in the sense that you don't know where it's gonna hit, what it's gonna do, and but I think you did a great job of getting that out of there, and we need to do more long-term thinking about that.
Thank you.
Maybe there's an engineering firm or somebody can say, here's some ideas on how this might be done. So, 'cause that's too big an investment for us to lose it and get to the point where we got no grass, we got no nothing. And it's well used, and people find out in the next couple of weeks how much they miss it. That's it.
Thanks, Dick. Clerk Treasurer Aldrich? Public? Yes, ma'am.
I've got questions about three things, and should I ask them when you're talking about them, maybe? I mean, I wait for public comments because I am the public,
Yeah.
but, the one thing I wondered about was the art installation. And I know that you, approved a motion to support, but how much money are you planning to throw at this? And where's that money coming from? Is there a top level? I mean,
So today we didn't approve the expenditure of any money.
I know
but
you didn't.
We put our support behind it so that that research can be done. She doesn't wanna do all the research, in vain and come back and say, hey, look, I spent all this time and if you guys wouldn't have supported it from the beginning, I don't wanna do it.
so she's gonna be okay if she comes back and it's $500,000 and you say no? I mean, I don't
She's
know.
gonna say, yeah, that's unreasonable to spend on that amount of, you know.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, I don't know what this kind of thing costs, but my guess it's relatively costly when you talk about old stone. Is that stone that the bridge was?
Iron.
Steel? Okay.
No,
Moving
it's
it
steel.
alone is, kind of costly, and things like that. So where would this money come from to do this?
Or we'd either look at budgeting it, or we would look at, line items that we have money available in to do that kind of work. I don't know what it will cost.
The pieces aren't as big as you think.
Okay,
You're not talking like great big giant. thing.
really?
No.
Not
they're-
crane things?
Two people
Carry-
can pick them up.
No.
Oh, you don't move them,
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
no. These are small, and there was talk about possibly looking at a grant source to do some of it.
I think we could find some
Oh,
volunteers
Oh,
too.
small, yeah, okay.
But
I
they're
didn't.
small, it's not
So
like this.
the cost would be mainly for.
Aaron reads my mind very well, so yeah.
I
Who's
don't know
doing
if that's
the,
good or bad.
yeah, not good.
Yeah,
Who's doing
probably
the,
good.
who's doing it?
Chris Newman will be doing the research. That's you.
And then, I had a question about Riley Park. And whatever I say, don't take offense at this, okay? All right. But it seems like this cleanup is costly, would be costly. I mean, it sounds like overtime. Have extra people been brought in to help clean? How does that get handled in the budget? Is there gonna be I mean, I don't know.
It just depends on
I
what
mean,
I'm up to, I'll take it out of,
You look like you're dead.
I'll take it out of my, existing
You
line
think there's
item.
money there?
Well, I know there's money there.
Oh,
I manage my budget very well.
I'm not saying that you don't. Didn't I preface that with
I'm
don't?
just teasing you, calm down.
He anticipated this.
Well, I assume that
I
your budget.
keep track of it all, so
I'm sure
I'm
you
tracking
do.
fuel tickets, I'm tracking
I'm
everything, like today we had to buy a hose, cause we're
I'm sure you
50
do.
foot short, so we just collect all that, I'll take whatever I can out of my existing operating, and if it gets too bad, then we have to be creative and You know,
Okay.
we can't control floods, we have to clean it up.
I know, I
Biggest mess is
know.
gonna be sand,
I
you
know
know?
you do, yeah, I know.
Or we look at using rainy day, which in this name alone is there for
A couple of
unexpected.
people have asked me about that, and that's one of the reasons I'm asking here. Because it just, I mean, you know, this is really not the time of year to pull these guys off of other things. I get that, that's not a criticism, so it just seemed like that.
How do other communities deal with the sand, issue? Do you just have to haul it all out?
You should really haul it out. I
Where do
would-
you haul it out to?
We'll
Cause
take
it's
the,
contaminated, isn't it?
no, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, not in my backyard.
I mean, you really, with the floodwaters and everything in there, you don't want kids playing in there.
Oh, no.
I mean, with runoffs from God knows where and chemicals and,
All those caves out there?
we'll haul it out and put fresh in and
Yeah. That's really all my questions. The third one already got answered. I wondered about the levy project being over budget, but you went through that, so, thank you so
That
much.
is under the over budget it was before,
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
but still, yeah.
Any further public questions? All right, hearing none, I'll take one last motion.
I move we adjourn.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.